Hello and welcome to round 9 fixture between Lambton Jaffas and Hamilton Olympic. Joined here today, Damien Smith. Smudge, we're without Ben Homer today.
Yeah, without Ben Homer today, so we'll do our best to keep everyone entertained. But yeah, we did miss Bart Homer, but it's a bit of a windy day here at Lambton.
Yeah, it is, and the pitch is not looking too bad. It's a little bit bumpy, but it looks okay.
Okay, looking at Lambton's lineup for today, we've got number 1 in goals, Brad Swancott. Number 19, Michael Sessions. Number 3, Brent Hamill. Number 4, Braden Crowley. Number 5, Marcus Duncan. Number 9, Tommy Weller. Number 8, Ben Hay. Number 7, Ryan Griffith. Number 11, Luke Remington. Number 2, Ridge Marpu. And number 17, Pat Brown. On the bench, number 13, Dom Smith. Number 12, Finn Paris. Number 15, Rex Finance. And number 16, Dylan Bozanovsky. And coached by the one and only James Pascoe, assisted by Shane Price.
And for Hamilton Olympic, we've got in goals Tyler Warren. Number 2, Kyle Hodges. 3, Tom Davies. 4, Jake McGuinness. 5, Blake Green. 6, Reese Pappas. 7, Simon Mooney. Jacob Bailey is away today. We've got number 11, Scott Pettit. 13, Jed Hornery. Number 14, Jared Sutherland. 15, Cody Lucas. 17, Leo Bertos. 20, Ryan Smith. And 21, Daniel Eisenhower. And on the bench is number 36, Joseph Tamperley. And number 37, Kane Treble, coached by Peter McGuinness.
Yeah, you mentioned Jacob Bailey away today. Hamilton's also got Jacob Bailey's away at his brother's wedding. I think he's best man for his brother's wedding. And we've got Reece Cooper away. You know a bit about Reece Cooper being away today, CT?
Yeah, he's playing in the World Futsal Championships. I'm not sure if he's already there, but if he's not far away from it. And that's being played in Spain, Smudge.
Yeah, and for Lambton, they've got Michael Kandarowski out with a hamstring injury. Joe Wheelhouse is still out with his ankle injury. They've got Nathan Verity out. Joel Griffiths is also away in Bali at the moment, celebrating a successful year at the Jets. So it should be a very interesting game.
Yeah, well, we've seen Hamilton Olympic come away with a really tight victory over Lake Macquarie last weekend. And they were in some good form. They, to be honest, they create a lot of chances. Simon Mooney, as we see, kick-off was their man of the match. And they looked in good form. Smudge, you've had a word to both of the coaches. How are they lining up today?
Yeah, just to start off with, looking at the screen, Hamilton going left to right. Good start by Hamilton, good sort of attacking, and they're showing their intent nice and early, CT.
Yeah, this is what they were doing last week as well. They really took an attacking game to Lake Macquarie, and there were a lot of goals scored early in the game, and so it just showed their intent last week as we're doing here. Scott Pettit on the ball about to deliver.
Yeah, Scott Pettit just knocking it too far over. So it looked like he was trying to allow for the wind, just try and bend it in the back stick, but just overhit it there. So a good start from Olympics. It's only a minute or two old, but they showed their intent early to push forward and put pressure on Lambton.
Last week we saw Olympic play with pretty much a boxed 4, but they can change pretty quickly their formation. Peter McGuinness has set them up like that. So we see Scott Pettit onto the ball. Got a nutmeg in there, Smudge, but he thought he was got the one in the melon as well.
Yeah, Ryan Griffiths lucky to get away with that. Sort of just hit him across the chin. It was only lightly, but Peterkin called play on. So
yeah, I was just going to say that Simon Mooney played at the point of the attack by himself, and his runs were particularly good. And he did say after the game, if he was successful, which he never talks himself up, that's for sure. But if he did do okay, is because the timing and the balls being played into him were good, and he made that point.
Just one player I'm interested to see is Braden Crowley. He was at the Jets a few years ago, has been down in Victoria, playing in the local NPL there, and he's just come back. I think his first game was last week for Lambton, but we haven't seen a taste of him just yet. Well, I haven't seen a taste of him just yet. It's a great play by Hay. Back stick. Oh! Nice play by Ben Hay. Got past the Hamilton midfielder, crossed it in for the run of Braden Crowley, back stick, and it was well defensive headed away by Olympic.
Well, the other thing here too is we've got Leo Bertos back in the Olympic side, and also the interesting inclusion is Jared Sutherland playing in behind Simon Mooney. He's not a big fella by any stretch, and he's in a key position, Smudge. So he's playing on wider areas when he's come off the bench, and then and now to be playing that position is a lot of faith from the coach.
And Ryan Griffith there, just over hitting the corner for Lambton Jaffas. Lambton with the throw. Tommy Waller to Remington. Back to Hay. Back to Remington. Good pressure by Olympic. Yeah, good pressure by Olympic, but well played by Remington. Hey, scooted past a few of the Olympic defenders, put a bit of pressure on their defence.
Did you say Remington and Hay, or just Remington Hay?
Well, it was a combination of both.
Hay was no idea. Yeah, no, he did really well. Simon Mooney came in, made the tackle, but he somehow kept going, and away he went and got himself on goals.
Just on the weather conditions here, see, I'll get you to elaborate because that's your expertise. But it was very windy and gusty this morning, but it sort of died down just as kickoff sort of approached.
Yeah, I'm no meteorologist by any stretch, Smudge, just a long-term surfing habit. Keep the eye on the weather. But it has been blowing from the south, and it's been variable from the south-southeast. And as you said, it was strong, particularly through the night, but it has dropped off a little bit. Conditions aren't too bad. I thought it may be a lot worse than what it is.
So Braden Crowley with the free kick. He's about 35 from goal. Oh, great ball across the bounce down to Hamlin. A great strike by Hamlin on the left foot. Good save by Tyler Warren.
Yeah, look, a good strike, but it was at a great height for Tyler Warren, and he saw it. He had plenty of time to just get something on. He was never going to try and catch it, but he certainly had enough. But yeah, he certainly got a piece of leather on that, Smudge.
So Hammer with the corner, not happy with the corner flag. It's a great ball in. Yeah, good pressure by Hamilton's defence. And that's what Hamilton's good at. They look to transition and counter-attack quite quick because they've got some pace up front in Bertos, in Mooney and in Pettit. I've seen them play a few times this year, and they've done well with that transition from defence to attack. I think they'll be looking to do that a bit today against Lambton.
Additionally, Sutherland is going to be fairly quick as well. But the other thing worth mentioning, Smudge, is we're sitting on the edge of the top of the dugout with legs hanging over like school kids, which is kind of fun, but directly above the coaching staff of Lambton Jaffas. So got to be very clear as Jimmy Pascoe is putting his fingers in his ear, but they've got the ability to tie our shoes or anything from here, Smudge.
Yeah, we need to be careful what we say, I think.
Especially with Shane Price down there, anything could happen.
Yeah, well, great header by Duncan.
Kyle Hodges just seeing that through to Tyler Warren. Olympic have been noted, Smudge, to be happy to play out from the back. Obviously, Peter McGuinness has got them set up and confident to play that way.
Just on that, it's going to be a good battle between Sessions and Simon Mooney today. Sessions got the height and probably the physicality, but he's going to have his work cut out, with Simon Mooney. Simon Mooney scored 3 goals last week, and he's been in great form, and he's aggressive.
That's the thing you smack on. He is aggressive, and he's a genuine competitor, so he's not going to go backwards, and neither is Sessions.
And that was great defence by Tommy Davies for Hamilton Olympic on Remington. Then talking to McGuinness before the game, and he said Tommy Davies has been one of their best this year. He's been very consistent. He's been a solid defender, so we expect a big game from Tommy Davies today. Lambton looking to take it short. See if Brent Hamill likes the corner post this time, CT. Nope.
Just whipped it away.
Yeah, I don't think he can actually...
He's instructing him to stick it back in the hole.
Yeah, I think he's going on the angle. Yeah. Corner post not looking too healthy down there. Great ball in by Hamill. Oh, great header by Ryan Griffith. What a great ball by Brendan Hamill. Perfect height for Ryan Griffith, and that's his experience. What a glancing header to the left-hand post.
Yeah, I've got to say, probably the marking was loose there for Olympic, and they're not going to be happy with that. Certainly McGuinness is not. But take nothing away from that delivery and finish from Griffiths. What a calmly slotted header, Smudge. And you're right, experience will do that. He just guided it to where it had to go, and all of a sudden, Lambton Jaffas 1, Hamilton Olympic 0.
I remember Ben Homer asked us a question a while ago. It was at Lambton versus Edgeworth, and Lambton tend to score regularly against Edgeworth. We'll just let play run here. Mooney on the ball. Good challenge by Ridge Mapu, and he gets a foul. Yeah, he was saying, how come Lambton keeps scoring goals against Edgeworth, who's got such a tight defence? And the answer was they've got ex-Socceroos in their squad. They've got high-quality players, and that was Ryan Griffith, a high-quality header.
Yeah, like I said before, it was. He just guided it. There was no panic. So a younger player, in first grade may, want to try and put a little bit extra on or whatever. He knew it had the pace. All he had to do was guide it, and it's exactly what happened as he finds himself in space, top left, and again, experience because the ball gets there. He's one-on-one.
Yep. Just Remington with the handball there. Just sort of bounced awkwardly when he tried to chest the ball down. Out to Tommy Davies, to Cody Lucas. Good pressure by Lambton. Notice nice and early, CT. Lambton playing with a nice high line, trying to compress the space.
Yeah, well, you've spoken to the coaching staff of Lambton Jaffas before the game. What's happening with their lineup?
Yeah, obviously they've had to make a few changes because they've got probably about 5 players out. They're the guys were listed at the start of the game, but they're just playing a 4-2-3-1, virtually mirrored the same as Olympic. But they brought in Braden Crowley on the right-hand side. Pascal said he probably wouldn't normally play Braden Crowley there, but Joel Griffith is out, and he's been in very good form for Lambton Jaffas. So, but look, they're playing a nice high line. Look at their back four, CT. They're nice and high. There's only about 30 metres between their back line and Pat Brown, who's playing in the number 9, really condensing the space, making it very difficult for Olympic to play. Yeah,
and that's exactly right. And obviously something they're working on and have worked on for a number of months, because it just doesn't happen. You can see that they're practiced. You can see that they're organised. Not just saying that because the coaching staff are sitting directly below a Smudge. However, they keep it nice and compact. And, in reverse, Olympic are doing exactly the same thing. Hodges is getting his troops up and trying to squeeze them. So, both sides limiting the amount of space that each other have got.
And looking at both sides, you talk about James Pascoe and Peter McGuinness. They've worked together over the years. So, they know each other inside and out. And both very technical coaches. Both they're very good coaches. So they probably know what to expect from each other's team.
Yeah, and as two former coaches as you know each other's games too, don't you? And you really study what they've been doing, and I guess it makes it easier with Bar TV because you can look at all of the games now. And that's what the coaches are doing. They're looking at all of the other games, whether it's live or whether it's on replays, and turning up to matches, etc., and really studying and analysing what the other teams are doing and exploiting their weaknesses and exposing your strengths. Most people wouldn't know this, Smudge, but when your team played against mine, we'd have one lazy American dollar on it.
Yeah. I think we came in about even, didn't we, in the end?
Somewhere around that. Just a pain because you had to go to the bank and get one.
Yeah.
See Pettit on the ball. He's really had no options going forward. And you look at the organisation of Lambton. Their session's tight on Mooney. Now he drops the line right out and squeezes them up. So effectively 2 players from Olympic were offside. Come back into position now.
Oh, it's a free header by Mooney. What a header by Mooney. Cody Lucas, great ball into Mooney. Free header just on the penalty spot by Mooney and guided it in the right-hand corner. What a goal by Olympic. It makes it 1-1.
Smudge, as we said with Griffiths down the other end, here's a man, Simon Mooney, that is not going to panic under pressure. And again, he did exactly the same thing. He knew where it had to go. Terrific ball in from Lucas. And what a finish from Simon Mooney. And look, this is just carry on from last week from him.
And just going back to Cody Lucas's run, he went past 2 plays. I think Lambton could have done better defensively to win the ball, but he was tenacious, Cody Lucas, and he did well. And what a tremendous ball into Mooney, and another gliding header. 2 very good goals. Great start to the game.
Well, as mentioned before, Smudge, Mooney did make mention of the service that he was getting from his teammates, and as they're looking to get him away again, he's probably a tough one to deal with, but he's pretty good. This battle between Sessions and Mooney, you can see Mooney's not happy there. Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Sorry, we picked that up at the start of the game. The battle between Sessions and Mooney, both very physical players. It's well played by Lambton. That wind has just gusted up just a little bit in the last few minutes.
So we see a free kick to Lambton Jaffas and Smudge. Bart's away today. Got any news on that? I did try and ring him a bit earlier. Yeah,
he was a bit busy, so I think he was a little bit of work with the ABC. So I know he was busy this morning, but he's got the match tomorrow, or we've got the match tomorrow, Charlestown versus Valentine. Another exciting match out at Charlestown.
And Bart will be back for that one.
Just on Lambton, I'd like to see Benny Hay get on the ball a little bit more. He's very dangerous in attack. He's very elusive.
Yeah, he sure is, and he was the man that scored that goal in the semi-final last year. It was just completely against the run of play, and he's got the ability to turn that on. And of course, he's got Pat Brown sitting up in the point, in the opposite number to Simon Mooney, doing the same thing at the other end. And he's another footballer that really can create opportunities and can finish.
Yeah, just on Ben Hay, both sides are playing very compact. I'd like to see Lambton get a bit more width when they get the ball. That will create space in the middle of the park for players like Hay and Remington. Just a little bit tight. And likewise for Hamilton. But Hamilton's nice and wide here. Yep, foul on Bertos. Peterkin not happy with the rolling ball. Jake McGuinness plays a short free kick back to Hodges. Out to Pappas. Pappas travels a few metres forward. Great ball in for Mooney. Well defended by Duncan. Great turn by Remington, but ball just travelled too far for him. Pettit, one-on-one with Tommy Waller. Well defended by Lambton. Yep, great ball in by Cody Lucas. Probably looping a bit too much. Misjudged by Ridge Marpu, and Leo Burdos had a chance then if you can control it. Good pressure by Pappas. Burdos with the ball. Good pressure by Marpu. And it's out for a Hamilton throw-in.
Yeah, so, I mean, where we're up to at the moment in this game is that both sides are really just settling into the game and started off like a cracking pace, but as we see it go on, you can see the intention of both teams to score the next goal. Obviously, however, it does make a big difference mentally, Smudge. Yeah, exactly. What I like here as well, I like the way they're really compacting the space, Lambton. So's Olympic as well, but when the ball goes backward, their back four push up, squeeze the space, making it difficult for Olympic. And likewise, Olympic doing the same. It's a very congested game of football at the moment, CT. We did apologise in advance for our commentary without Bart here, Smudge, but I'll tell you what, we're going to try something today. If anyone's got any comments via Facebook, on the game that you can put comments on, put them on there for us and we'll have a look and see if we can add any value or add something, Smudge.
Yeah, any thoughts? Any thoughts about players playing well? Any questions as well? So,
yeah, or general comments. Yep.
yeah, defensive structure of Lambton's very good.
Hear the instruction from Lambton from the bench. Very clear to get their back line out. And they're doing that particularly well, as you said earlier, Smudge, forcing the areas to play in making them very skinny. And as you see, the ball being pushed out by Olympic.
Wild with the throw in. Into Brown. Nice touch by Brown. Pascoe not happy with the turnover of the ball. Mapu. Back to Swancott. Across the Sessions. To Waller. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to play out, isn't it, CT? Because the ground's a little bit bumpy as well. A little bit windy, a little bit bumpy. So a few balls are sort of just going a bit stray.
Yeah, well, the problem is when it is tight like that and it is a bit bumpy and you've got some pressure on you and people are bumping you, it's hard to control it. You see really sharp feet from Pettit.
Hey, well controlled by Sullivan. He had pressure with Hay and Ryan Griffiths. He's a strong little player for such a little character, isn't he?
A little character. Let's just run with Southo. Yeah, he is. He's doing really well, and you know he's had a good taste of first grade football over previous weeks.
Guinness saying it was great to have Bertos back, bit of experience back in the squad, bit of attacking flair as well. This is where I'd like to see Pettit really nice and wide, maybe tuck in if Cody Lucas goes for the overlap like he's doing now. It's all very tight here, isn't it, CT?
It is. Sessions there to clean that one up. Nothing fancy from Sessions. He's just getting rid of it. Well, McGuinness comes in with a heavy challenge, and Peterkin points to the free kick, which Sessions will get on the ball.
Yeah, you talk about Sessions, nothing pretty, but the thing is, you need to be careful because it is bumpy, it is windy, so you could get a bit of a bobble. So he's just playing safe. Yeah,
I was just talking about that particular instance where he's really taken no risk. He's just making sure it gets cleared out.
Beautiful ball by Sessions. Out to Crowley. Back to Hamill. Great ball by Hamill. Kept alive by Crowley. Yeah, good pressure by Olympic. Lambton trying to play around there, trying to create a 2v1, trying to slide some runners through, but well defensive structure by Olympic and force the turnover.
He may have copped one. He's not the player to go down unless he has got one. Looks like he's got him in the beak.
It was a solid challenge by Sessions, but it was a solid 50-50 challenge. So
yeah, I think Mooney's letting him know what he thinks about that challenge.
Yeah, I think Swancock's getting a bit frustrated with his back four here. He wants it played earlier, played quicker.
Well, Smudge, you've asked for a comment. We've got one from Brad Wheeler. He was talking about nice. You said nice touch by Brown. Good one, Smudge. I think it wasn't Brown.
Oh, no, it was Brown, but the thing is he did lose the ball. When he first touched it, I'm with you, Wheels. The touch actually went astray in the end. The wind blew it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I thought it was a nice touch initially, but you're on me, Wheels. You're right on me, mate. Yeah, well played by Lambton.
Hay back on the ball. Back out to Sutherland. Not got a lot of options, Sutherland. And he gets the free kick. Brown's fouled.
Yeah, no, it was Jaffas foul on Sutherland. It was a professional foul. I think he just wanted to slow play down, make sure Lambton was set back in place, their defensive structure. Yeah, well defended by Kyle Hodges. Just with both teams, CT, either team can get into a bit of a flow or a bit of a, sort of their own patterns of play. It seems to be stop-start a bit, mainly because of probably the conditions. It's very bumpy, but yeah, there seems to be a little bit of turnover.
Yeah, and you mentioned a few players out for Lambton. One of them was Cinderella Smudge. So the coaching staff have left Cinderella out of the side. Do you know why that happened?
No, mate. I'd love to know why.
Because she kept running away from the ball. Andrew Digby has requested that one, so we are having a look as we see the ball.
Just quickly,
Mapu.
yeah, great ball out to Mapu, nice and quick. Pascoe barking instructions, get the ball moving, get it going quicker. Just a bit stop-start at the moment, a bit like the Jets' second half last week against Melbourne Victory. Ryan Griffiths with the corner. Short to Brent Hamill. Great defence by Jake McGuinness on Ben Hay. Out to Southern, out to... Quick ball up to Pettit. Yeah. Well defended by Tommy Waller, wasn't it, CT?
Yeah, strong. Very, very strong. He really couldn't afford to make a mistake there. And I have to say, one movement before that ball out from Sutherland, proving his worth in the middle of the park because he had to wait and delay to find Pettit and then play it away from his defender. So, you know, he's going okay.
Yeah, good challenge on Crowley from Cody Lucas. It's a good battle, isn't it, between these two, Mooney and Sessions. They're all over each other. I love the physicality.
Yeah, they sure do. And we see Bertos.
To Green.
Blake Green had a fair game last week as well, and he's the sort of footballer you've got to watch because he can just pop up on you and can do some damage. All back with Swancott. Evergreen.
Mate, what are your thoughts of the opening 25 minutes?
Yeah, look, it's been fairly even for me so far. You're right that they're very, very much mirrored each other. And, you know, in formation and also play, both teams are limiting the amount of space that it's available. And it's making it difficult to play. And when you're doing that, it gets frustrating. And that's why we're seeing a couple of tackles that are a bit harder. We get Griffiths on the ball. It's a strike to come off possibly Pat Brown. Back with Remington.
Yeah, great strike by Griffiths. Nice little dink and run in there, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. While De Hay turns it over to Lucas. Pappas up towards Lambton defence and shuffled out.
Both defences are set up virtually exactly the same, aren't they?
Yeah.
And making it very difficult for both teams to get through. That's where I think we need to get a deep midfield runner running beyond the back four. Hopefully no one can track him because they're very mirrored, aren't they?
Yeah, that's certainly one technique. And another one is, you know, when you've got possession, once you've turned it over, get your back line to open things up and almost lure them forward and then create opportunities and space that way by coming back so they can go forward, if that makes sense.
Yeah, or even like you can do a quick one part, then a nice long pass switch to the other side. Open them up nice and quick.
Yeah, the problem is when both sides press, it really makes it hard for your central midfield to get anything on the ball, and that causes a lot of turnover. So in this situation, you know, you can see Hodges just dropping off a fraction to make himself available, but both lines are very high, and as you pointed out before, Smudge, probably 30 metres between them. And easy pickings, well, should be for Sessions. He made an error. Falls back with Sutherland.
Yeah, well defended by Tommy Waller.
Yeah.
Just had that bit extra touch, didn't he, Sutherland?
He's having a great game, Waller.
All played by Brown. Oh.
And there's another professional foul. And
Crowley should be... Crowley was away, wasn't he? I was like, well...
He was. You expect to see a card here, Smudge, because he
was away. He would have been one-on-one in the box.
Yeah.
That was a great opportunity for Lambton.
For me, that's a yellow card. He was away. He timed. He just staggered his run, and then he took off, and away we go. As we see the free kick, it's going to come through, and Brent Hamill will get on the ball here.
Yeah, I think Cody Lucas was very lucky to not to get away with a yellow card there, CT. Brent Hamill on the ball.
Good delivery into the box and back stick. Griffiths couldn't get a piece of it.
What Blake Green did there, he sort of checked Griffiths as he jumped up. It was like a perfect check, so no foul. And
Got to be careful there, Smudge, don't you? If you check it a little bit too hard and he drops, it doesn't look too good for you.
But if they're both jumping for the ball, as long as he's an experienced player, Blake Green. And even though he's young, he's played at this level for quite a few years now. And it was a good little check on Ryan Griffiths. Great ball in Remington. Remington going forward. He's got Tommy Davies to beat, and well defended by Tommy Davies. I think if Remington had his time again, he'd probably been a left footer, maybe cut inside, and then he would have had a one-on-one with Tyler Warren. Shot on goal.
Maybe that's what Davies was kind of expecting and why he went the other way. But either way, it was well defended.
Lambton looking for the short corner again. Ryan Griffith on the ball. Great delivery. Braden Crowley just mistimed the header just slightly. Ryan Griffith. That's well played. Ryan Griffith 1-2 with Benny Hay and just couldn't get his shot away. That was a great opportunity for Lambton.
No, he couldn't get a shot away, Smudge.
He's had a few corners from that side, Ryan Griffiths. Probably at least 5, I'd say, the first half.
Yeah, we'll see this.
Hamill does the same move every time. Hamill does the same move over for the short corner. It's another great ball in to Hay. Oh.
Yeah, with Hamill doing that, two things are going to happen. Someone's got to go with him, creates an opportunity, or he's going to pick the ball up. So there we go, and we'll see Hamill on the ball at this end, the opposite end of the park, I should say.
I will say Lambton on these corners, they look dangerous. They have scored one, and they look dangerous. There's been some superb balls whipped in.
Let's see how we go with this one. Hamill comes in low. A little half flick away. Oh. And Hodges looking long for Pettit. Waller does well to get in front of Pettit and get it out of danger.
Lucas with a throw in. Well played by Pettit. Yeah, well defended by Benny Hay. This is where I like to see Hay running at plays. This is what he does best.
Oh, Remington just didn't see that, and if he had, Smudge, he was
away.
Home. Yep.
Yeah. Well played by Lambton. That's what we talk about, these deep runners running beyond the back four, like a Remington.
Or Hay, as we just saw then, and you picked it out exactly spot on. That's where they look dangerous. Hamill to Brown.
He's a good target man, Brown. He's got a nice touch.
Crowley. To Waller. To Lucas. And Sessions doing a good job on Mooney. He's keeping him a lot quieter than what he was this time last week. I can tell you that, Smudge.
And Mooney's also doing a good job on Sessions. He's making him know that he's here for a game.
Yeah, he's making him earn it, that's for sure. Either way, when they go home today, they'll both know they've been in a game.
Lambton again, playing like not a bad line, nice and high, just compacting the space again, making it difficult for Olympic. Blake Green in behind, great ball in. Oh, Mooney had a great opportunity. Great cross by Blake Green. Eluded Mapu. Great ball in. And Mooney, probably just that side of the post wasn't a CT. It was a difficult challenge to finish.
Yeah, he was complimenting last week after the game, the balls that were coming in, and that was another good one. The thing about Mooney, even though he's missed a couple last week, which I hadn't mentioned, he did miss quite a few actually. He was getting in goal-scoring opportunities all the time, and that's what you want to see. And he did end up, with 3 goals last week, Smudge.
Just looking here at Lambton, they made a positional change with Braden Crowley moving to the number 9 role, and they're bringing Pat Brown out a little bit wider, probably give him a bit more space, but also play Braden Crowley in his more accustomed role, more central. Here's another one I'd like to see on the ball. Him and Benny Hay, a little bit more on the ball in the second half. But like we said, it is difficult with this space. It's so compact, and the wind sort of contributing to it as well.
Delivery here from Hamill, which ends up being a drop-off.
Nearly a 2-touch by Hamill.
Oh, here's the ball in.
Crowley, we just talked about Crowley. Crowley's in. Oh, he just got past Tyler Warren, but Tyler Warren did superbly there just to force Braden Crowley out wide.
See, that was a big scoring opportunity right there.
And it sort of came from nothing, didn't it? Sort of got us by surprise. Tyler Warren with the goal kick.
Now Marcus Duncan with the duties on Simon Mooney as we see Brown, Crowley looking for Griffiths. No, nothing on there, Smudge. Plays the ball back out, looking for Mapu and picks this one up. Mapu plays it, looking for...
Great turn by Brown.
Pat Brown in the box. Yeah, look, I mean, both sides here are getting some opportunities, Smudge.
Yeah, not too many opportunities, mainly because obviously the conditions in our both sides we've talked about being mirrored of each other. But yeah, I think Pasco's done a good move there, just swapping Pat Brown and Braden Crowley, just positional swap, just trying to change it up a little bit. I'd still like to see a few of the midfielders from either side run beyond the back 4. They're hard to track the deep runners from midfield, so just to change it up a little bit, because both sides are playing a high line, so there's actually space in beyond the back 4 of either team. And for Olympic, Pappas and McGuinness aren't going to make that run beyond, but that's where I'd like to see Jared Sutherland just make that run beyond Mooney. Mooney come deep in the pockets, allow him to go beyond and look for those balls in beyond. Sometimes when you watch a game when both sides are very well structured, it's like a game of chess, isn't it?
That's exactly right. And, you can see the intention of both teams to squeeze the game so that when the other side has got the ball, they've got not enough room to play in, and it's very difficult. See Sutherland just overpowered there. But draws a free kick. And Olympic. So this one at 1 each at this stage, and proven so far to be very even.
Just the Lambton coaches down below a bit frustrated with Benny Hayes' little foul. I know when I was coaching CT, you don't need to challenge in the middle of the park. As long as you make the midfielders play backwards. Lambton needs some width here.
And Pettit interception out to Lucas. He's looked at long for Pettit, doesn't find him. And then Pappas into McGuinness, out to Green. Green menacing down that side to Bertos. Finds Green again. Back to Bertos. And the ball goes out for a corner. Good tackle from Mapu. You just don't want Leo Bertos, Smudge, to be getting crosses in that area, and he shut him down particularly well. And
we don't want him turning, do you? If he can... Mapu did really well. Quite an awkward challenge, but he did very well, because if you don't want Bertos facing you in that area, because he's very good at one-on-one.
Yeah, and another player with experience, as you mentioned before, and you don't want him, on the ball in dangerous areas. You want to shut his space, and that was done by Mapu well. Delivery in from Mooney. Straight back out. It comes again. Finds no one.
He did well, Tommy Weller, but so did Reese Pappas to win the ball back off Tommy Weller.
Lucas makes his intention clear. Sutherland. Waller's been having a good game, good solid game, Smudge.
Yeah, if Brown could get control of that ball, Remington was through then. If he could just get that control of that ball, he played it on the deck through to Remington. Totally. He was away one-on-one.
Agreed. Tom Davies relieved that that's gone somewhere else. It's Green on the ball. McGuinness back to Green.
Good pressure by Crowley.
Pappas, Hodges on the ball. Olympic holding some possession here. Back to Green. Sutherland turns it over. Now Hamill. Into Hay. The Griffiths. Decides to deliver it early and cleared away by Davies. Sessions not happy there, Smudge, with that free kick.
Yeah, it was difficult. Both players were going for the ball. The wind actually took the ball away from them and they sort of tripped over each other. Would you have gone play on?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I don't know. Probably Sessions a bit hard done by.
It sounds like Sessions has told Peterkin he was very hard done by, and Peterkin's just telling him, you know what, back off a little bit, mate. Just relax a little bit and we'll get the game moving.
Either that or what's for dinner tonight.
I think both coaches would be really pleased to get the boys back into in the sheds at halftime, have a good chat to them, probably make a few little adjustments.
Yeah, I mean, you get into halftime. If you're coach of Olympic, what are you going to say to them?
I think you'll be fairly pleased with the first half. They're playing some well. They're knocking it around okay. A few slight turnovers. Need to be careful here playing out from the back. I'd probably like a deep runner like Southern making the runs beyond Mooney. They're playing with good width. But I think their set pieces, they need to be stronger on their set pieces. Every time there's been a corner or a set piece, they've looked a little bit fragile, Olympics. So they just make sure they man up and mark up there and get organised.
Hayes just tripped on the ball. Mooney's picked that up. He's really got no one with him except for Pettit, who's 1 on 4. So good opportunity here for Olympic just to reset, get their numbers forward. See Pappas. I come to Lucas. Sutherland just strong there.
That's better. Nice quicker play, because the play sometimes the build-up's been a little bit slow. It is difficult conditions, so like today, players need that extra touch because of the bounce and the wind.
You can see how quickly Lambton have just brought their back line out to limit the space for Olympic to play in.
Mooney just didn't re-Sutherland them. Mooney came forward towards the ball. If he went over the top first go, he was one-on-one with Swancott. Great little play by Sutherland. He's got nice little touches.
Oh. Mooney launched himself at the ball. Pettit. Mapu stays nice and strong, stayed upright, forced a corner.
Yeah, I forgot to mention before, CT, just seen Pettit and Burtos swap as well. Burtos out here on the right, Pettit out on the left.
Yeah, and that's the second time this half, so clearly, you know, that's an instruction just to mix things up a bit.
Yep. Ooh. I'd like to see someone in front of Mooney on corners, actually, because Mooney was just in the front post there.
Well, the ball was clearly aimed at him, and he did well. Sutherland. Pettit. And goal! Scotty Pettit. Ball played in from Sutherland, and Scott Pettit picked his spot, found the back of the net. It makes Hamilton Olympic 2, Lambton Jaffas 1.
Well played by Jared Sutherland. He had time on the ball, just took his time. Great run forward, run by Pettit, who made the run beyond, but there was no pressure from Lambton's defence on Pettit, and he had time to settle and pick his spot. And great finish. Hamilton 2-1.
Look, what I liked about Sutherland there, he sold himself to score and take a strike on the goal, and he didn't do that. He heard Pettit screaming at him, and he delayed, sold it, and then played Pettit in. Got himself left alone there and just finished the job.
Yeah, I think the Lambton coaches will be a little bit disappointed with pressure on the ball. There was no pressure on the ball, was there? Even on Sutherland, there was no real hard pressure on the ball, and he was inside the 18-yard box. But well finished by Scotty Pettit. I think that's his second goal for the year for Olympic.
Yeah, it's difficult too when you're in that situation, because if you jump in too early, he's just going to skin you. So you got to half hold your line. But as I said, he did really well in selling himself that he was going to shoot. And maybe in his own mind he was. Mooney just caught offside there.
He knew Mooney straight away. He sort of stopped even before the flag went up. But the thing with Mooney, he's playing right off the shoulder of Duncan and Sessions. So, you know, there's a chance he's going to be offside, but you know what? Duncan and Sessions need to be careful.
Look, we spoke about the Olympic, you know, the discussion that you'd be happy, but now, Smudge, you know, if you're going in as the coaching staff of Lambton, do you change anything, or leave it as it is? What are your thoughts?
I think you'll be a little bit frustrated. They've had some good opportunities. I don't think the ball sort of gone their way too much today, mainly because of the wind and the bumpy ground. I like the way he's moved Crowley to the centre and brought Pat Brown out wide.
Well, that's the thing, you know, get Pat Brown on the ball some more, because he's a man that can create some opportunity.
But for me, I'd like to see Benny Hay on the ball a little bit more. He can be lethal on the ball. Probably get Brenny Hemmel sitting a little bit as a number 6. Push Ben Hay on and play like a 2 number 10s, because at the moment they're playing a 6 and an 8 and a number 10 in Remington. But and also with your number 9, like your Crowleys, you want him probably just dropping off into the pockets, trying to create a bit of space, and have your deeper midfielders running forward beyond the back 4. Players like your Hayes and your Remingtons. One thing Lambton did very well, they rotate their midfield quite well. You'll see Ryan Griffiths dropping into the number 6, was playing out wide like a number 7 or number 11, but he drops into the number 6, pushes Crowley out. They really rotate their midfield very well. Probably haven't done it as much today as what I've seen in the past few games, but that's when they're dangerous.
And you can see the closeness of the marking of Olympic on Lambton. They're really, really tight. Across the park, they're tight. And it's not just when the play's dead, it's actually when it's in motion. And now they've got numbers going forward. With McGuinness turning that one over. Easy pickings for Sessions. And that's half time. Smudge, this has been a fairly even contest. 2-1 to Hamilton Olympic. Your thoughts on the first half, Smudge?
Yeah, it's been. We use the word mirror. We've said it a few times. Both sides playing identical shapes and sort of playing identical high back line, making it very congested, very difficult to play through. I like both sides to change it up a little bit in the second half. I like to see more of a deep midfield runner running beyond the back 4. Keep using the width, or even do a quick change, switch a play. Like have a few passes out on the left and switch it like a long ball out to the right. Really try and put both defences back on the back foot. For Olympic, Pete McGuinness must be very pleased at half-time. They've looked a bit fragile at set pieces, but playing the ball, they're knocking the ball around really well considering the bumpy ground, and they've had a few opportunities. For Lambton, I think they'll be a little bit frustrated. Pascal looked frustrated as he walked off at half-time. They've had a few opportunities. I think their speed of play needs to be a little bit quicker, and just turnover's been a little bit high as well. Your thoughts?
Well, the only thing I'd add on to that, apart from the players running from deep and beyond the back line, is the ability for both teams to actually, when they've got possession, back lines, noticeably and purposefully drop right out, and by that creating some extra space. So it means, attackers have got to come more towards you, opens the midfield up, and that's how they can create some extra space. But all in all, fairly even first half. It is Hamilton Olympic 2, Lambton Jaffas 1. We'll see you talk to you in about 10 minutes.
Hello and welcome back to the round 9 clash between Lambton Jaffas and Hamilton Olympic. Half time, it's 2-1 Hamilton over Lambton Jaffas. CT, what do you think the coaches would have said at half time? Starting with Lambton, who was standing right in front of us.
So Smudge just getting myself settled back into the commentary position. Look, it's one of those things, you know, the game is even, and although it's even, you know, what do you want to do? You want to get more time on the ball. I think, you know, possession is key for Lambton, and key players on the ball. So, you know, your Pat Browns, for example, on the ball. Maybe, you know, Ridge Marpu overlapping a little bit more than what he's done in the first half. And as you said, Smudge, getting players to run from deep, and you're going to be able to do that if you've got possession.
So it's Damien Smith and Chris Turner in the commentary. Our esteemed leader, Benny Homer, is not with us today, so we're battling away, CT.
Yeah, and battling away we are, Smudge, so apologise in advance for the the call-by-call commentary. However, we'll do our best, Smudge.
And just on Benny Homer, we'll hear him tomorrow, Charlestown versus Lambton in Match of the Round for Bar TV.
Yeah, and joined by yourself, Smudge, and myself, so we're looking forward to that one as well.
So Tommy Waller with the throw-in for Lambton. Yeah, good steal by Jared Seller. Mooney advanced in the box. Great ball across. Ooh, and Pettit just overran it. Just went beyond. And Lambton out. Marpu on the ball. To Crowley. Yeah, good pressure by McGuinness on Crowley. Pettit on the ball. Hamlin Duncan defending. And Swancott easily collects the ball. Yeah, good pressure by Blake Green on Pat Brown. Marpu with the throw in. Yeah, it's a foul on Pat Brown. McGuinness coming in a little bit late on Pat Brown. He tried to turn inside. And a fair call by Peterkin, the referee. Brent Hamill looking for the quick. Oh, it looks like he's going to whip it in the box.
I'd say so. Delivery comes in. Tyler Warren, call and caught. Warren's got the wind slightly behind him, and he certainly punts that one down, finds some length. Ball comes out to Hay, to Griffiths.
Just on Hay, we spoke about Ben Hay in the first half. I'd like to see him on the ball a little bit more in this half, see him get a bit more space in the middle of the park. Get him running at plays. That's where he's dangerous, isn't he, CT? Yeah,
for sure. And the few times that he did it in the first half, they looked like, you know, they were going to have an opportunity or two. So something that, you know, you would want a player like him doing as much as you could, as does this man can do, because the speed of Marpu.
Great challenge by Pettit. Both players with great speed.
Brown back out to Marpu. And to Hamill. Looking for options. Finds Marpu, who delivers it. Good strong ball in the box, but just overhit.
So has the wind changed, do you think, CT? It's sort of swirling around a little bit because the wind really got behind that ball there.
Look, predominantly from the south, but it may have a bit of southwest in it.
Yeah, I'm feeling that at the moment, just in the commentary box up here. You've got your little jacket on, nice and warm, where I'm actually freezing.
Did you call it a commentary box or a commentary top to sit on the dugout? And I think it's the latter. Davies on the ball.
Like the first half, it was hard for either side to get into any fluency of play, wasn't it, with the wind and the bounce of the ball, and both playing very compact. So it'll be interesting to see how the second half unfolds.
And you know, on that point, I think it's more the compact and the both teams creating that's the biggest restriction in possession.
Yeah, but also I think with the wind and the bounce of the ball, you need to have that extra touch to play the ball. So you don't see too many one-touch football. I know Ernie Merrick loves two-touch, so players get the opportunity to get into a position rather than having that being past the first touch. Marbu did well then. Out to Sessions. Like to see a bit more width here from Lambton, especially on the left-hand side. And again, well defended by Olympic. And look at their back four. Hodges marshalling his trips, get up to halfway. Really. There's 25 yards between Mooney and the back four, which is very condensed, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Oh!
Emotion there, Smudge. Tyler Warren never bothered by that.
An emotional guy, mate.
Yeah, what your wife tells me.
Yeah, and that's a great kick by Tyler Warren in the far right-hand corner. Tommy Waller didn't have any chance but to knock it out. Now they've advanced 70 yards up the park and in a fairly dangerous position. And in games like this, sometimes it's a bit like a game of a rugby union where it's all about positional play. Well played by Jake McGuinness, out to Burtos and cut out very well by Tommy Waller. This is where I'd like to see Lambton transition nice and quick and use some width, especially up this right-hand side.
We spoke about runners coming from deep, and that's exactly what Lambton have had there.
I'd like to see Marpu right on the touchline here. He's in a few yards. One-on-one with Pettit.
Dangerous ball into the box. It was swept away, and Sutherland couldn't quite control that. Comes back out.
Just the other thing on Olympic. Nice cutout. Reese Pappas advancing forward in the centre of the park. He's got Sutherland on the left, Mooney on the right. He's played it out to Mooney.
Oh, I'm not sure if that actually hurt Mooney or not. He fell awkwardly. He's up and he's okay. Yeah, absolutely. End-to-end football there. We saw something that we didn't really see in the first half in teams stretching each other out, Smudge.
And a quick transition by Olympic. They won the ball, they compressed the space, forced a turnover by Lambton, and then they went nice and quick. And that's what we didn't see too much from either side in the first half. I was going to touch back just on Mooney before. Mooney's defensive work is second to none. His defensive work, putting pressure on the back four, is unbelievable. And credit to him. And that goes unnoticed.
Well, it does, and we've both coached him, so we're not saying that lightly. The work that he does off the ball is significant.
So Crowley and Davies, great challenge by Davies. Yeah, the other one, Braden Crowley, I'd like to see him on the ball a little bit more as well. He's a very technical player, very gifted player, but he hasn't had that chance in that space today. Just been a good little battle between Benny Hay and Jared Sutherland in the last few minutes. Oh, it's a great ball in by Brendan Hamill. And Pat Brown is just offside.
Oh, don't forget, tomorrow, the game up at Charlestown, being covered on Bar TV. Charlestown v Valentine Phoenix. We'll be joined, Smudge, by Ben Homer. It'll be great to have Bart back.
Yeah, our team leader. He's the one what keeps us in check, doesn't he? And he's the one who calls play-by-play and does a brilliant job. So it'll be great to have him back tomorrow while we battle through this game.
So you'll be able to join us live at 2:30 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. That one cleared away by Hodges and straight out to Sessions, who then found its way over the sideline for Davies and the throw-in.
Yeah, just looking at James Pascoe just in front of us, looking very frustrated. Just the turnover sometimes. Going forward, they're getting good opportunities, but the turnover, that last pass, just isn't clicking at the moment.
We did see when they had the ball deep in their own half, and then you could see numbers and then angles and opportunities because players were running and they were progressing forward. It looked dangerous. It looked like something they'd worked on, and that's the sort of stuff that the coaching staff would want. Pascoe would be looking for more of that because it opens Olympic up. So we see Brown on the ball. Looks to try and create some space, and Sutherland just pinched that, and away goes McGuinness. Slides it through for Pettit. Pettit's just outside the box. Strike across the face of goal. And unfortunately...
Yeah, it looked like he tried to cross it for Pete McGuinness. Sorry, Jake McGuinness in the back stick. But if Pettit had his time again, I'd probably go one-on-one with Swancott and try and have a shot.
Well,
just try to angle the ball across. But he's in a great opportunity to have a strike on goal, wasn't he?
To be honest, I thought that's exactly what he was going to do. But here we got Griffiths at the other end. Brown on the ball. He crosses it in. He's got Remington on the back stick. And in the end...
Oh. That was a bit casual from Lambton there. I thought they had two great opportunities, but they really should have buried that. I think they sort of stopped. They thought it was offside, but Braden Crowley and Ryan had great opportunities to bury that ball past Tyler Warren, but he still held his ground firmly.
Yeah, and Crowley in particular. Pettis worked a free kick pretty well then. He's just dropped, knew he was in trouble. McGuinness over to Pappas and Davies. Back to Warren. Cleared it out Sutherland. He's not the tallest player in the world, Smudge.
He's a good little player, a very gifted little player. But you're right, he's not the tallest. This is where Lambton, they need to break quick. Transition nice and quick. Sometimes the build-up's just a bit too slow. And a foul on Ryan Griffiths by Bertos.
But definitely a lot more positive from Lambton and now finding a little bit of extra space and you can see a spring in their step. Talk about momentum. They've got that flowing with them at the moment. That ball is not going to trouble Tyler Warren.
But what I liked about Remington then, he had the ball, played in the Benny Hay, he made that forward run beyond the back four. Hay elected to shoot, but that was better by Lambton. Like we said just before half-time, it'd be good to see players like Remington and Hay making the run beyond Crowley, who's playing at the 9 at the moment. And again, the bounce of the ball is just sort of restricting the game a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And the other thing, that can happen is people like Crowley could make a bending run out around Remington and swap over effectively so that, Remington's running from deep and Crowley's taking a player with him, a defender with him. So that, that's something that works as well. Blake Green making no mistake, puts that straight over this sideline. Brown into Howard.
Ryan Griffiths.
Who's looking for Griffiths, as you say, and Tyler Warren, Smudge. So again,
yeah, good call by Warren, wasn't it?
He's been having a great game.
Great ball by McGuinness. Olympic on the attack. Out to Pettit. A bit narrow here, Olympic. And well defended by Lambton. You know what I like to see, especially when you're high in that front third, a lot of width from your wide players because that spreads the defence and there's holes everywhere. If it's narrow, it's easy to defend. It's very compact. So
you want your man at the point to be playing as high as he can and then your left and right sided players giving you that width. That's how it's going to happen, to create opportunities for the midfielders through that central part of the field. See Pettit attacking at speed. He's got Sutherland with him. Sutherland again, he's very elusive. He's looking for options.
Yeah,
Sees Pappas. Oh no, sorry, that's McGuinness. McGuinness delivers into the box. Good ball. Sees looking for Mooney. And now Pappas to Bertos. His passing range is very, very strong as Bertos. There's another player we haven't seen on the ball as much as we thought we may have, Smudge.
Yeah, well, like I said, we keep saying the game's so compacted, so there's not much space for the wider players, and also, most players have time on the ball. But he's played on. Mooney on the ball, advancing forward. And a great challenge by Sessions. And Pettinen's brought it back. Mooney was fouled nice and early. Sort of knocked off balance, so Petty let play to go on, which was really good, but he brought it back when Mooney was fouled again. So
Mooney's not going to go down unless he's brought down. He just keeps going on with it. He's not ever going to try and milk anything. It's just the way that he plays.
And just there, Ryan Griffiths getting a yellow card for just telling Petty what he thought of the challenge.
What do you think he would have said, Smudge?
Ryan Griffith?
Yeah.
Well, I know Pettican had a Recently had a bub. He probably just asked how the baby's going. Is the bub sleeping?
Getting enough sleep?
Getting enough sleep?
Probably not, because I didn't like the decision, that sort of thing.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Pet it on the ball. He's going to deliver this in. He's going to be looking to get beyond the first defender, which is Griffiths, and something in behind the back line. That's his target.
Bit of physicality between Sessions and Mooney here. Peterkin trying to get it under control.
Sessions and McGuinness as well. And that ball went as far as Duncan.
Ooh. The bounce for Cody Lucas was quite awkward. And he goes, hey, this is where I like to see Lambton transition nice and quick.
And look at the numbers, as in Hay and Brown. Hamill pulls the trigger, cops a deflection, and in the end, no problem for Tyler Warren.
You know what, they got back into place really quickly in Olympic and just shut down that transitional play. And here goes Mooney. Oh, he's been a menace, Mooney, hasn't he? He's, again.
He has, and he's really good in that position because he's just so strong. And again, timing his runs are good, and the angles he gets himself on and in are excellent. What I did like, Smudge, about the last movement from Lambton was the speed and the numbers that we're able to get out. And when it turned over, transition quickly, and they didn't, and they looked dangerous.
Oh, that's a solid challenge by Sessions. I think Sessions a bit lucky to get away with that. He sort of went in with the shoulder right, sort of got in the upper chest.
You know what? Sessions is just a strong man. And we're looking at Sutherland, who, if you didn't know his age, you'd think he was 12, Smudge. So he's just been strongly tackled. I don't think there was too much in it. So we know Sutherland's not that. He's probably about 18. However, he's been causing some problems, and he's set up the last goal. Yeah,
he's been in and out of the side, mainly because Reece Cooper's been playing at number 10 and has been superb for Olympic. But he's done really well. And look, we've seen Sutherland play more in wider positions on the 7 and the 11 for Olympic, and he's done well there with a bit of space. But sometimes when you're in the middle of the park, you need to play the ball. But sometimes when you're out playing the 7 or the 11, you've got time, you've got space, and you might have too many touches. And sometimes he's been caught when we've seen him play. But today he's been very good in that number 10.
Well, I have to be honest, I was wondering how Olympic are going to cope without Cooper. See, Crowley wins a corner there.
It's felt a bit of spit of rain there, CT. We've got no cover here. We might get a bit wet, I think.
It's only a spot, Smudge will be right. The tendency from this end has been to overhit it. When you get someone experienced like Griffiths on the ball here, he'll be aware of that.
Olympic's got all 11 players in the box.
Players running in.
Great ball in.
From everywhere.
What a great ball in by Ryan Griffiths. Disposed of by Olympic. I have no idea what happened then. They had like 11 Olympic players sort of just standing in the box. It was just like in slow motion for some reason. You could hear Pete McGuinness say, what's going on there? So there was no pressure on the ball on Mapu, and it was like a non-event for some reason. Peter McGuinness barking instructions to his troops slightly outside the technical area.
Making his point known.
Both coaches have got some players out today, and they've got some young boys on the bench. Some with minimal first-grade experience, if not none. Better play by Lambton.
See Remington on the ball. He's able to get a ball into the box. And Brown just across the face, and he'll be absolutely filthy with himself that he didn't put that one in the back of the net. Something that he should have buried that, Smudge.
Oh, 100%. And what a great interplay between Ryan Griffiths and Remington. Again, Remington making that run beyond. That's what we said at half-time. You need Remington Hay to make the run beyond the back four. He's done it there. Great ball across to Brown. Brown had to bury that. He's only a few yards out, right in front. Tyler Warren was stranded.
He was stranded, and the thing about the positive for Brown is he got in position to put it away. And he was under pressure. It wasn't exactly a gimme. We see him heading the ball again. Pat Brown, he just made up for that miss with a great piece of work. Olympic ball.
See that, Olympic recognised the danger man, Crowley, then, and they had 3 players around the ball, putting pressure on the ball. It was well defended by Olympic. Sutherland again. He's always finding pockets, isn't he now? He's starting to get in a bit of space. With Lambton sort of pressing, pushing players forward, like Hamill and Hay, Sutherland's just picking up the ball in the few of the pockets, just in that number 10 role.
There was some thought of Sutherland going to Adamstown towards the end of last year for this year. He's chosen to come to Olympic. I guess now that's a decision that he's happy with. He's certainly found himself for the moment anyway in a very good quality side. See Bertos coming to Pappas. Running out of options. He's just dropped it out to Davies. Carl Hodges hasn't really made himself available. Now he drops off. He's available if required. A little bit dangerous here, Smudge, and we've seen Olympic get caught out there before, which has cost the odd goal here and there.
Yeah.
But their intention is to play out from the back.
Which is great. You love watching players play, but you need to be careful. They got caught last week, didn't they? Which resulted in a goal to Pulish Shikawi for
That's exactly
legs.
right. Yeah, you're spot on. Exactly what happened.
Bertos to Mooney. Mooney one-on-one with Duncan, and well defended by Duncan.
Again, Pettit's going to be faced with a similar issue. I think that the wind is slightly going to be slightly behind his back. So just got to be careful not to overhit it. Surprised they haven't got Sutherland in the box, Smudge, for the header.
You know what? You'd be trying to curl this in. The wind's perfectly behind you. There's 2v1 here. There's a great opportunity for Olympic. Oh, the ball just needed to be in front of Pettit. Ball's played behind by Pettit. Sure, that a great opportunity there, Olympic. And this is where you want to see Lambton transition quick. So you need Remington one-on-one here. Pat's grounds.
If the ball went to Remington a little bit earlier, he gets an opportunity to take his defender on one-on-one, and then Lucas, that's a personal battle between them. And you know what, Remington, you'd like to see him in attacking positions all the time. As I say, a little bit earlier, then it would have given him a better opportunity. Yeah,
and just on Pat Brown, he sort of ran and took his space. You probably want to get Remington, Hay, players like that one-on-one opportunity, especially around the box.
Hamill. Great ball into the box. It was just not far away enough from keeper in Tyler Warren. And McGuinness under a bit of pressure, and he's put that one over the sideline, Smudge.
Just on Lambton, they've just definitely stepped up the intensity, haven't they?
Yeah, they have, certainly. And, we're sort of on the 67, 68 minute mark. There's still plenty of time. Not only another goal, but there's plenty of time for a couple.
You're still seeing Olympics' nice high line, the back four, which is really good. Sometimes, as the game goes on, especially when you're ahead, you tend to drop off a little bit, but they're still playing that nice high line, which is compacting the space, which is making it difficult for Lambton. McGuinness would be happy with that. That's well played by Hay. It's good. I'd like to see Hay on the ball a bit more this last 20 minutes. To Hamill. Out to Mapu. Mapu's just in a little bit. Like to see him more on the touchline so we can sort of attack that 18-yard box. He's got Pettit one-on-one, Mapu. Great ball into Hamill. Better play, more patient play by Lambton CT.
Yeah, for sure. And the opportunity there is that the Lambton Jaffas actually create an opportunity. Now we've got Mooney on the ball. He finds Pettit. Pettit finds himself one-on-one with Mapu. It's almost a mirror of what happened down the other end a moment ago. He pulls the ball back out to Green, the Hodges. Davies. And he's gone long. There wasn't much on. He finds Mooney, but doesn't go past Sessions.
Yeah, tough ball in for Mooney. Sessions definitely got the height over Mooney. See, just there, see how Griffiths dropped for the ball? I'd like to see Hay or someone run beyond the back four. If Griffiths could just... Nice turn by Griffiths. Great turn. Great ball by Brandon Hamill to Griffiths, and well defended by Blake Green. That's better play by Lambton. And they're making that forward run.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean, this is the part of the game where they're certainly on top, but they need to convert, and they'll be very aware of that. The last corner from Griffiths was sensational. If he can replicate that, they're a chance here, Smudge, and we'll see this ball being whipped in. The wind has been swirly, but he wants to keep it away from Tyler Warren. He's got the sun in his face.
Well, it's over. Oh, well taken by Tyler Warren.
You can see him just holding his hand above his head there and just keep the sun out, and he's just pulled it away at the last second. Great hands.
Mooney, he's busy everywhere. Oh, and Sutherland's on the ball. He's got past one defender. Duncan's held him up. Sutherland, well defended by Duncan. Sort of came from nothing, didn't it? Mooney did very well to hold his ground.
Well, Peterkin was going to blow his whistle, but he saw that Sutherland was on. In the end, they didn't get a shot away.
Oh, tough ball by Pat Brown. Well cut out by Blake Green. Out to Pettit. Nice ball into Pappas. And well defended by Lambton, and Hay picks the ball up. About 25 out from his goal line. Plays the ball out to Crowley. Bit of a heavy touch by Crowley, but he's back on deck now. And Swancott comes to the rescue again. Same Remington came from an offside position. We got a substitution here, CT.
Looks like Leo Bertos is going to come off.
He's been absent for 2 weeks, hasn't he? So Leo Bertos is coming off and replaced by number 13, Dom Smith. So here's another smudge, mate. So Leo Bert, he's been busy today. He's been really good.
He can't.
He's been away for 2 weeks, so he's probably been a little bit underdone to Leo Bertos. He's put in a good shift, though. Dom Smith, call him Smudge as well. He must be a very good player as well.
We're not calling him Smudge because we don't want to... yeah, anyway, we'll leave that one for another day. Smudge. People work it out for themselves. But anyway, see Olympic.
I don't know too much about Dom Smudge Smith, but we'll see what he's all about in the last 20 minutes or so. Turnover by Lambton. So it looks like Dom Smith has moved to the number 9 role where Mooney wasn't, and McGuinness has pushed Mooney out to the right-hand side. They'll give Mooney a bit more space to attack Tommy Waller on that left-hand side. That'll be a great little challenge. In saying that, Mooney's been superb at the 9. He's been very busy, especially defensively. So Olympic with the throw-in. Balls with Blake Green. Good pressure by Crowley. He did foul him. It was in behind, so... The sun just came out, CT. Feels actually quite nice and warm on the back.
You're just saying it's going to rain and we've got no cover, and now you're talking about the sun?
It's bizarre, mate. It's Newcastle weather. Peterkin's not happy. He wants it going. Remington with the ball. Hayes starting to break wide.
Pulls it down well and cuts back inside. Look at the speed of Remington through the middle of the park. Got options. He's got Brown. He's got a bit of a bump on the shoulder.
And that's better by Lambton. The transition was quick. Great run by Brown. The ball just didn't have enough weight. If it had the weight, Brown was in.
Yeah, he timed his run beautifully into that pocket. He's back out for Sessions. Duncan, back to Sessions.
I just have to apologise to the viewers. I've been corrected by Edgeworth coach Damien Zane. I was looking at the wrong team sheet. I do apologise. Jen Honery comes in.
Well played, Smudge.
And Dom Smith, he actually plays for Lambton, so I do apologise for that. But, yeah, just on Jed Honery, he's been out with a hamstring injury. He scored a few goals early on for a Hamilton Olympic. So, yeah, he plays as a raw number 9. He's a very good player. So I do apologise. He's Pettit.
Pettit just outside the box. He's got Mapu, and he still gets the delivery away. And in the end, threw everyone and out for a corner kick.
I must thank Damien Zane, the Edgeworth coach. He always keeps me in check. But, yeah, I do apologise. CT gave me the wrong team sheet.
Oh. Zaney, it was straight off his phone and he's just screwed up. It's as simple as that. Anyway, we see Olympic getting down to the far corner. And again, Pettit and Sutherland pay attention to the corner. This time, we've got 2v2, so you'd expect Pettit's just going to whip the ball straight in the box. It is. So for Lucas, Mooney's got a shot. It's been deflected and back out for another corner.
Yeah, free header by Jed Honery there. So I think Lambton need a little bit tighter in the 18-yard box, especially when these corners are whipped in. Good opportunity by Mooney as well.
Good delivery in to the box. We've got McGuinness or Pappas, can't really pick which one that was from there.
It was McGuinness. Tommy Waller on the ball. Lambton trying to transition a little bit quick, but Hamilton did well. They got back in numbers and they've closed the space and they've forced Lambton to go back. Sessions on the ball. Pressure by Honery. Hay on the ball. He's about 25 yards out. Good shooting range for him. Out to Brent Hamill. And good pressure by Mooney from Brent Hamill. I think that was a foul on Kyle Hodges. I sort of missed that CT. I know you would have missed it.
Yeah, I did, actually.
I've just had another correction. I've got my favourite player as in Daniel McBreen, who plays for Edgeworth Eagles, former Jets and former Mariner. It's Hornery. Jed Hornery.
Can you explain how he got you to understand that it was Hornery over a text message?
Like that.
Okay. Well, we've got Sutherland. We'll leave that one for later. We've got Sutherland that was being a menace up on that right-hand side of the pitch for Olympic. The ball goes out for a throw-in. We'll see Lucas come to the ball.
So Edgeworth's got a big game tomorrow as well. They'll obviously with Zane and Josh Rose, McBreen involved. So, yeah, they're playing against Adamstown. And Adamstown's 1-2 on the trot, so that's going to be a difficult game for Edgeworth tomorrow. But as we see, Olympic with the ball inside Lambton's area. Well defended by Tommy Waller. Lambton's throwing. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting battle between Edgeworth Eagles and Adamstown tomorrow, CT.
Yeah, absolutely it will. It's shaping up to be a beauty, and there's some good games on this weekend. Back to McBreen for a minute, Smudgy. He's starting off, well, not starting off, but his coaching career seems to be coming along particularly well. I'm getting some inside information about that.
Yeah, well cut up out Blake Green. Out to Pettit. Duncan first to the ball.
The wind's picked back up noticeably again.
Actually nearly just blew us off the
top of the dugout.
Yeah, good pressure by Lambton on Blake Green. I thought that was a foul on Remington then by Pappas. It was a bit of a sloppy tackle by Pappas. He clipped him, but Peterkin said play on.
Sutherland back on the ball. He's staying as strong as he came, and Hamill comes away with it, and he slips Brown, or attempted to. It was cut out by Davies. And Mooney back on the ball, just drops it out to Lucas, who sends it long for Hornery.
Who just made the foul on Duncan then. Like Mooney, he's got a bit of physicality to his game as well, so he'll relish the opportunity playing against players like Duncan and Sessions. Bit narrow Olympic here. Pettit's lost his boot. Mapu's on the ball. Pettit's chasing him down. Out to Remington. Remington beats Pettit. Great ball in. And well defended by Cody Lucas. And Pettit's received a yellow card. I missed all that, CT. You've obviously missed it because you spilt water on your phone. So it must have been after Remington had crossed the ball. Pettit obviously did something, I'm unsure. So it's a free kick to Lambton. We've got no replays in front of us.
Sorry, did miss that. Thanks to Joel Grinnell. He's just identified that my phone was... I spilt my water over it. Anyway, Joel Grinnell, our illustrious sponsor, Smudge of Sports Click, looks after us in our gear here, keeping us nice and warm.
Ryan Griffiths on the ball. Dangerous spot here.
Well, it really is, Smudge, and we know he's got an idea in his mind, and he's giving some instruction. Oh, Ben Hayes risen and just steered that wide. What? That left Tyler Warren stranded. If that was on target, that was in, Smudge.
Two things there. Ryan Griffiths' ball was absolutely superb. Perfect for Ben Hay, but Ben Hay jumped early. He rose above everybody else and had a free header. I think he'd be a bit disappointed he didn't put that away because, yeah, like Tyler Warren was stranded. And that was a great opportunity again for Lambton to pull one back.
Strong header from Sessions. It's out for McGuinness. Create some opportunity back on the inside for himself.
He did well, McGuinness. Then he just gave the ball away. Probably could have kept it nice and short.
That's right. Remington clearly fouled there by Hornery.
Jed Hornery's, they're just having a chat to Jed Hornery. He's made about 5 fouls since he's been on. Mate, we've got about 8 minutes to go of regular time. What are your thoughts?
Look, I think it's a case of just being patient for Lambton at the moment. You need to score, but not rush your build-up. Keep what they've been doing for the last 20, 25 minutes. Continue with that and continue to make opportunities. And when you do that, you're going to take your chance that one of them is going to go in. So for me, keep as you're going. Don't rush it. Just trust the opportunities are going to come.
Horner on the ball, well defended by Lambton, and Waller comes away with it. Plays it nice and quick and well cut out by Cody Lucas. So it looks like it's going to be a change for Lambton. It's going to be Pat Brown. He's been busy today, hasn't he, Pat Brown? Pat Brown's going to be replaced by number 12, Finn Paris.
Well, Pat Brown's been good today, Smudge. I think that he's really put himself in the game. He's been dangerous. He's been a menace for the opposition.
Yeah, it's been a tough game. Like for both strikers, it's been tough. It's been windy conditions. They've had no space today, and but you know what? Defensively, they've worked hard. So Finn Paris comes on for Pat Brown.
Ball gets played out to Mapu. Found Remington. Mapu with a throw in.
Just trying to force the pass for Ridge Mapu. Good defence again on Olympic. Trying to break nice and quick. Blake Green, Sessions going for the ball. Sessions as it runs over for the sideline. I must say, Olympics' defensive effort today has been second to none. They've conceded quite a few goals in the past, this year, which wouldn't make McGuinness too happy. But today they've been rock solid.
Yeah, they have been good, but like you said before, I think they've really mirrored the defence of Lambton, where they've stayed nice and high, compact, and they've stayed close to their marker, and that makes it very difficult to get through. Davies swings a boot and puts that one straight over the fence.
Anyway, and again, Olympic very compact in the middle of the park, even their back line. They're pushing up. As Lambton plays the ball back, they're back for march 5 yards.
Yeah, again here, Hodges continually barking that instruction as this ball falls for Pappas.
Oh, Jed Hornery had his chance again, control the ball and turn. They were 2v2.
They certainly were. It was a Green flies Hornery again, who's fouled by Mapu.
What they want, boys, eh? That's what they want. Come on, don't give it to them.
And Pettit certainly taking his time on this ball.
Yeah, just winding down the clock. Only a few minutes to go of normal time. There will be a bit of added time, I'd say. Just on Hamilton Olympic, last week when they beat Lakes 4-3, that was their first win in about 5 or 6 weeks, CT. So if they get a result today, they can start to get a bit of momentum.
Well, there's a long way to go on this way on Smudge. 1 minute's a long time, let alone 7 or 8, depending on what we get in extra time. As we see Lucas. But I do know there was a very relieved Peter McGuinness at the end of the game. He knows he's got a great side. As we see...
What a great turn by Jed Hornery, and he's looked up, he's seen Swancott off his line, slightly wind assisted, and he's nearly hit that from 40 yards out.
Yeah, it would have been interesting if it was on target.
Yes, one goal, he was stranded. He watched it sail over his head and...
Touch on from Griffiths, finds Remington. Mooney clears that ball out of danger. And again, Lambton Jaffas on the attack. Looking to hold possession and doing so. Duncan finds Mapu, and great opportunity here if you can get the ball inside the box. Being challenged by Pettit. Ball's delivered in. It's there on the back stick.
Nearly a known goal.
It's not over yet. Hay has a strike and is being cleared out.
That was well done by Mapu. Great ball across and nearly a known goal by Olympic. Great strike by Hay from the rebound. But unfortunately it took a deflection, and now Tyler Warren cleans it up.
They're a coach killer because you've got the ball just loitering. It's like someone gets something onto it and nothing actually happens. Eventually falls out for Hay. Had his shot blocked.
Hornery, he did well there. Great defensive effort. He's picked up the ball again. He's going to be one-on-one with Duncan. There's Hornery. He's gone on the inside, gone on the outside. Oh, he thought Sutherland was running on his right-hand side. But he really sort of checked his run. Yeah, so...
He really did think Sutherland was there, and he played it with that intention. And when you're under that sort of pressure, it's a new first grade potentially. Everything gets very quick. We can see the ball come out to Remington.
Yeah, great turn.
Hay on his right.
It was a great turn by Paris. Nice ball into Remington. Yeah, Horner, if he had his time again, he probably could have snapped it straight on goal. Great turn by Hay.
Agree.
He's done well, but well defended by Olympic.
Very strong by Hay. See Duncan out to Mapu. Does have some space, but Pettit closing him in quickly. Almost got that one through. And Paris. Delivery from Paris comes in low. handled by Green and away. Hornery and Duncan come together. And then all the way back to Swancott, who you can see some sense of urgency in his play to get it quickly played away. Smudge out of his back line and quickly back in the opposition territory.
They're very compact Olympic. They're really making it difficult for Lambton to play through. They're not giving them an inch, are they, CT?
No, they're certainly not. And as the minutes tick down, got about another minute or so of regular time, and then whatever extra time is, and I can't see there is a lot of it.
Yeah, they'll be lucky to be 2 minutes, I'd say, 2 or 3 minutes of extra time, I'd say, CT. Of added time, sorry. Sutherland again, he's been good today, hasn't he? He's been busy. And playing that number 10 role doesn't allow him to have too many touches because he has to get off the ball. It's a great ball into Hornery. He's had a shot on goal, and it's very comfortable for Swancott.
Swancott quickly gets that away to Mapu, who's weighing up his options. He's travelling at speed. Finds Paris. Cuts back inside. And Peterkin decides that one's a free kick. Hamill being told from the bench to slow that one down. Get yourselves organised. Give yourself the best opportunity to score. You expect his target's going to be beyond Pappas.
Yeah, it's all about the delivery.
And away from Tyler Warren, who's got the sun in his eyes. Does that. Almost finds.
You can see the players, as the ball's travelling across, the sun was in their eyes and they could barely see the ball.
Yeah, and I think Sessions was the case there. That's where the ball was going, and he didn't see much of it, I don't think. Finds Remington. His cross was blocked. Back on the ball. Now it's turned over.
And Pettit's breaking here. If he gets it, just skewed it. McGuinness.
Now Lambton back on the attack. Here's Griffiths. Tyler Warren comes right to the edge of the box, and some calls from Olympic that was okay, and he was on the edge though. Tyler Warren cuts that ball down the other end of the park. Now to Pappas.
He's done well there, Pappas. Played a 1-2 with the referee. Mooney out to Pettit. Pettit's one-on-one with Ridge Mapu here.
And you would expect he will take him on. Runs out of options. Is it back out to Green?
Yeah, I think Olympic's just trying to wind this game down. And great turn by Sutherland.
It's a clever turn by Sutherland.
He just sucked Mapu in, didn't he? You can see him have a glimpse over his shoulder, see Mapu rush, and he just waited for the ball to come and turn.
And just rolled him. And
He
again, Pettit slowing things down.
Yeah, I thought they'll play the nice, easy short pass, actually. Mapu's won the ball in the corner, and
well, we've had 2 minutes of extra time here, Smudge. And time now running out for the Lambton Jaffas. But it's never over. Peterkin has a look at his watch. Now we have full time blown by Peterkin. That gives a result for 2-1 to the Hamilton Olympic over the Lambton Jaffas. Smudge, pretty tight contest. What are your thoughts?
yeah, very tight contest. I think Pascoe and the coaching staff will be disappointed not to come away with something in the game. However, the defensive effort from Olympic was superb today. They kept it nice and compact, played a nice high line. McGuinness has got the biggest smile on his face I've seen in years. So they've won 2 on the trot now, and they slowly move up the ladder. Oh, sorry, they've won 3 on the trot. There you go. They've won 3 on the trot. So, yes, they slowly move up the ladder. And you know what? Olympics starting to get a bit of momentum.
Yeah, they certainly are. And look, they've got a great side. McGuinness has known they've been in it every week. They've just had they've just been edged out Smudge, I'm just quickly before we go, being asked for a shout out on Bar TV for a big hello to Benny Riggs. He's a massive fan of Ryan Griffiths and he's still got a signed jersey of him at home. So a big shout out there. And look, you know, just finishing up here, Olympic now will go in with belief that they can continue on and get on a bit of a roll, Smudge. And you'd think that the way that they're travelling, you know, that's a genuine opportunity.
Yeah, totally agree. And I think obviously Lambton look a bit frustrated. They're just sitting down in front of us. You know what? They put in a good shift today. Unlucky not to get away with anything. I think Olympic's defensive effort just probably nullified Lambton's attack. But they had some pretty good chances where they should have scored, at least brought one back. But and Shane Price, very frustrating in front of us as well.
He said he thinks there was about 4 of them, in case you didn't catch that. But you're exactly right. And there were some opportunities for Lambton that, you know, at least the draw you'd be coming away if you're in the Lambton camp would be fair. But it's not to be. And it's definitely something that Hamilton will go away with very, very excited about because they've had to work for it today.
And just on Lambton, like they had some key players out today, and Joel Griffiths. They got Wheelhouse hopefully back next week for him. Kandarovski's been out with a bit of a hamstring problem, and Nathan Verity's been out. So they've got a few players to come back in. So, you know, you add another 4 or 5 players into that squad. They've got a great squad, and they're going to be thereabouts at the end of the season. A little bit frustrating for them today, but I think come business end of the season, they'll be thereabouts. But full credit to Olympic. You know what? They've had a rough start to the season. They were in matches but never got results, weren't they, CT? And today they've sort of grinded out a result towards the end. And, you know, congratulations to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, tomorrow afternoon you can join Ben Homer, Damien Smith and myself, Chris Turner, for the match Charlestown versus Valentine Phoenix, 2:30 p.m. on Bar TV. And we're looking forward to having Bart back. We got through, Smudge, I think.
Oh, only just. I had to be corrected by a few times with Texas coming through. But, yeah, we got through. Well, last-minute call up today, CT. But, yeah, we got through. But
always good fun.
Yeah. And just on that, we got also Edgeworth playing Adamstown in a very interesting contest out at Edgeworth. And then also we've got Magic playing the Newcastle Jets with Mitch Oxborough back in the Magic lineup.
All right, well, that's it from us here this afternoon at Bar TV. Hope you have enjoyed this game as much as what we have, and we look forward to catching you tomorrow afternoon.